Good morning. I saw that the Harvard Crimson, the supposed ultimate newspaper of the ultimate university in the world, who is considered by many the #1 university in the entire world, and the paper that represents the illustrious students of that institution, has declared their support for BDS, irrespective of the fact that the people supporting BDS want not just a state, but they want the destruction of Israel. And the Harvard Crimson is in support of the destruction of Israel and the death of all of those Jews. So, inadvertently or intentionally, the Harvard Crimson has declared themselves to be Nazis, wanting the destruction of the Jews of the world, because that is the goal of Hamas and the goal of all of those anti-Jew, anti-Israeli propagandist machines. They proclaim, first they will kill the Saturday people, the Shabbos people, then they will kill the Sunday people. That's what they proclaim. So essentially, the Harvard Crimson has agreed that they should be killed inadvertently. But what is the direct result of what they have done? It is not an act of boldness, an act of courage. It's an act of viciousness, violence, stupidity, blindness, prejudice, and every kind of adjective indicating people who know nothing of history, know nothing of reality as it is. But besides that, the Jewish people have been around for 3,700 years. And people have tried to destroy the Jewish people within the last century and continue to do so through the efforts of Hamas and Iran and all of those nice people who the Harvard Crimson is supporting. The Saddam Husseins, the Ayatollah Khomeinis, the Nassers of the world, the Arafats of the world. That's who they are in bed with. So what should be the reaction? I have no power. I don't have any children that I'm going to send to Harvard or grandchildren. I intend that my children will go to yeshiva. My grandchildren will go to yeshiva. And even if I had the money to pay for it, I would never send a kid to Harvard. I would never send a kid to an American university. Because sending a kid to a university is like sending a kid to a bordello. They destroy the values, they destroy the beliefs, and they destroy any kind of responsibility, any kind of positive good trait that has been developed in the course of civilization. The universities, including Harvard, tear down. And so what Harvard Crimson has done has declared that Harvard is dead. Long live ignorance. Long live evil. And the response of the Jewish people should be very simple. Okay, you don't like us, we're not going to send our kids to you. No Jew who is proud to be a Jew should send his kids to Harvard. No Jew who gives money should give his money to Harvard. Those who have given money for the bank account, for the reserves of Harvard, should demand the money back. Harvard has declared a war against the Jews. And I want to tell you, despite Harvard's position as an institution that is highly respected, Harvard has now declared its own death. How could that be? The Crimson is not Harvard. If the people in charge of Harvard allow this to continue, allow this to be, and the people in charge of Harvard are complicit in the same thing, that means that no Jew is really welcome there, unless the Jew is not proud of being a Jew, unless he's like George Soros, who hates his own mother or his own Jewish religion or origin. Any Jew who is proud of being Jewish should not send his child to Harvard. And let me tell you something. If Jews did that, Harvard would lose its standing as a great institution. I know that there are lots of Asian students who do better on SATs and so on and so forth, but history has shown that between 20 and 25% of all the Nobel Prizes that have come out since the beginning were given to Jewish people, especially in the fields of economics and medicine. And the Jews dominate those areas. And that is the area, those are the areas where Harvard dominates, economics and the medical school. And if Jews stopped going to Harvard, they'd lose their Nobel Prize winners. And Harvard, and if they went to places like Yeshiva University or other places where they don't teach this garbage and trash, they will make those institutions into Harvards. And those institutions will become the #1 school in the country and in the world. It's very simple. If a Jew feels proud to be a Jew, they don't belong in Harvard, they don't belong in NYU, they don't belong in any of those stupid places that have decided to cast their lots with vicious animals. I'm sorry, animals are better. With Hamas and Al-Qaeda and all those wondrous organizations who spew anti-Semitism and anti-Jewishness. I want to say this to the Harvard Crimson editorial board. Not only are you stupid, not only are you ignorant, but the Bible that most of the world still believes is God-given. The Bible says, "And I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you." You've just done it to yourself. Harvard is dead. You don't see it now. But just as a tree whose roots have eroded and no longer have the power to sap the water from the earth, the tree will die in the course of years, but you don't see it. Harvard's tree, the tree of truth, the tree of desiring what is beneficial for humanity, that which is true and good, is no longer the water that supplies Harvard's growth. Instead, they've taken the poison pill of racism, the poison pill of socialism, of communism, has declared that to be their ideology. They've declared that to be, they declared reason to be irrelevant. They've declared truth to be non-existent. They've declared policy or emotion to be their God, emotions that are improper, whose roots are hatred. And as such, the Harvard roots are withered, and the tree of Harvard, you will live to see that. I don't know if I'll live long enough to see it, but Harvard will close its doors and will no longer be an institute of higher learning.